Good morning. Hi, I'm Kathy over here in Glory's Garden. And what we're doing this morning is pulling these carrots. These carrots aren't growing, they're not doing anything else. And one of my subscribers and someone I follow as well, she saw me pull one up and she saw how rooted the carrot was. And she said it's just going to be woody. And so she said, you might as well pull them and start over, because that was her experience. That may not be my experience, but being that I wanted to pull them anyway, because they have been down here. I don't know if I have it on here, but these are the yellow carrots that I planted back at the beginning of January, trying to get a spring harvest. And this is all I have right here. And I'm not too particular about it because I do have carrots other places. And I'm also going to turn around, fertilize this soil, and I'm going to drop carrots back in this bed over here in Carrot Peak. So that's what I'm doing right here this morning, pulling these carrots up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, y'all can see some of it. But and how the carrots look. None of them looked like they was doing anything. Everything is like this, full of the wood. They're not the color they're supposed to be. These supposed to be the yellow carrots. And I think they've been down long enough, taking up soil. So I'm just going to pull them up. And they were supposed to be very long carrots. As you can see, this one was trying to get long, but nothing else. I'm not particular, so. If y'all have any ideas, they'll probably be laying around here for a while. I doubt if I'm going to eat these. Yeah, they're more root than anything. Try to keep all my soil and try to pull all of them out. I already got my fertilizer here. I'm going to be fertilizing the soil. And I may or may not plant carrots back here, because I do have carrots planted other places. But I did get good carrots out of this last year. I got pretty decent carrots out of here, which is why I planted in this again. Some of it's a little carrot, you know. If nothing else, I may drop these down in the food composter, at least the greenery, because I'm not going to eat any of it. But it's been 10 months, so I think in 10 months we ought to have something. I don't have any rabbits around here. When we first moved here, when my parents first moved here, we used to have rabbits in the backyard, but after we fenced it off and stuff, we didn't see rabbits, and so much building going on in the neighborhood, so you don't see rabbits. It's about 9:23 in the morning. This is my first time out. I'm going to be doing a little work, and then I'll be going back in, because I do have to go to work tonight. This is the beginning of my work week. I do see some ants in here, but not a lot. So this bed might just be empty unless I could find something to put it in. My green stalk tower did come in. I might do that this morning, just set it up and put the soil in it. I'm probably not going to be planting anything in it until I find some seedlings that I really want. And the reason I'm going to go ahead on and amend the soil, because I know me, I'll be running around in here and think, oh, I could plant something over here, and then I have to go through amending the soil and all that. The way I be moving out here sometimes off camera, I pull something up and want to plant it somewhere else, so I'm gonna go ahead on and amend the soil. And one thing I'm putting in is some plant tone, some slow release fertilizer. I'm gonna put some of that in there. I have my blood meal. Put some of that in there. I have bone meal. I'm going to sprinkle some of this in there. And I have some earthworm casting. I'm just going to make sure this gets mixed up into the soil. The soil is a little dry for it to have rained all last week and drizzled last night as well. This particular little crate raised bed is in an area where it will catch all the rain. I say the rain falls everywhere else but in these flower pots. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not as dry as it's fluffy. It's not that hard dry, but it's not as wet as it should be for a place that got rain every day. That's what I'm talking about. Making sure I'm getting all the carrot pieces out. And I may top this off, since it's a small pot. I may just top this off with a little ocean forest soil. I usually don't put ocean forest soil in these beds, but this is a small one. Just to make sure the next thing that I put in here, because it may be a cabbage or a collard green or anything like that, I may put in here. It might be what I do. Go move something and put it in here. I think I'm going to top it off with some ocean forest. I'm just trying to make sure all the soil is loose from the bottom. That everything is fluffy. That's what I try to do. Pull this glove up. I tried, even if I don't have something in a pot, I usually would put some water to it anyway, because I feel like the ants come when it's a real dry bed. They like the dry stuff. So I've been trying to, at least that's how it seems to me. So I try to keep everything watered over here, even if it doesn't have anything in it and I hadn't fertilized it. So I will water it, but this was definitely getting water from me and supposedly the rain, but I don't know. I can't explain why the soil is so dry. Now the native soil here is super dry. It could rain and pour and you could dig about 1 inch deep in this dry soil as if it didn't get any rain at all. And that's after raining a long time. Okay, I'm getting these big pieces of wood out. I'm gonna walk around to the back of the garden and put some soil in here. Get the soil. I just left it out because I'm constantly grabbing it anyway. Just gonna change you all's direction because I'm coming in from the back of the garden now instead of the front. That way I don't have to drag the bag all the way around. And I think I'm gonna just top this off real good with some ocean forest and still blend it in there. Uh-oh, something catching my hair. I don't know if you can see this particular bed or not. I'm trying to get it where you can see directly into this bed that I'm working with. And I'm just going to put some handful of ocean forest soil in there. I don't have my scooper, and I'm not backing up out of here to go get it. So I'm not going to back up out of here to go and get it. Ocean forest has a lot of fertilizer things in it as well. Because I might end up putting some cabbages in here. Maybe 2 or 1, depending. They seem to be getting pretty big, so I'll probably just put 1 in here. If I did that, I thought about sprinkling some more carrot seeds in here, but I have carrots other places, and they are doing okay to me. Yeah, I just kind of want it full a little bit, almost to not too high where the water run out, but enough. I feel like I got a good bit of soil in here. I had, I think, 4 of these little beds that you just put together yourself. Got these from Amazon, Temu, somewhere for little or nothing. And they've been holding up in this weather. I said I was going to put some weather resistance coating on the outside of them. Just hand paint it on there. Yeah, that's pretty good. I want the water to be able to stay in when I water it or when it rains. I want the water leaking out. And I try to keep the bag closed up and pent up. So if it do, I just leave it sitting out in the garden. The last place I used it. So it's going to be sitting right here by this bed. All right, guys. That's what we did. We amended that bed and it's ready for another seedling. That's what I did. I amended that bed. It's ready for another seedling. I'm trying to pull you guys out of here. Y'all are everywhere. I'm going to sit you all on the front side of the garden. And I'll come around and get you. Yeah, but that's what I did. I amended that bed. So it's now ready for something else. If I needed to plant it, I have an empty bed that's already prepared for something to be planted in. And that's the way I try to leave these beds. So I have that done. And I thought about putting my green stalk tower together because I'm going to have one of the new ones. They're just 3 tiers. I'm going to have one of the new ones at the end right here. One of them is going to sit right here, and I'm going to take that bag and I'm going to put it in grow bag lane over there on the back side of the garden. And then the next one, I'm going to take it and it's going to be down here at the end. I'm sorry, I'll be having this camera so close. I am toting y'all on the tall tripod this morning. Look at the quails. They're looking happy, thank goodness. Nobody's laying flat, thank goodness. And I'm going to have the other one down here, all the way at the end of the garden, the front side of the garden. And I think I'm going to move that little red-orange grow bag. And I'll probably sit it towards the back. It has supposed to have some mint in it, and I think it has died out. But I'm going to sit the other one there in that spot. And they are the gray ones. Peppercorn is what it's called. Peppercorn. And I don't know if I told you all, I found out the real name for the black one. I kept saying charcoal, but it's called Beautiful Black. And the stone color is called Stunning Stone. So I like that. It's plenty peppers on Beautiful Black that needs to be harvested. I just haven't harvested them yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with them or who I'm going to give them to. They're hot. So that I did love growing them, but they're not what I thought they would be. So I'm going to give them away to somebody. And I probably will grow them again if I have space for them, because I don't mind blessing other people with things, because people are forever blessing me with a lot of things, and they have been very giving to me once they find out that I have a garden. People have been very giving. bringing me different things, even if it's just something to put in my composter. They say at home and come to work, have a bag of orange peels, apple peels, and different things like that, eggshells. My coworkers and stuff, they've been very giving. So, and when I take stuff, I usually take it to my job. Okay, guys, so that's what I did in the garden this morning. Just did that raised bed. I don't have a lot of time today, but I'm going to be doing something. If y'all could see these mustard greens, Lord have mercy. Let me let y'all see these things from the angle that I could see them. I need to break them leaves off. I need to harvest those leaves. I just don't like to harvest things that I'm not ready, prepared to deal with once I take them in the house. So... but they're holding on. I might just grab them up anyway and stuff. I know some people be like, well, I blanched them and this, that, and another. See, I don't have time for that today. So I don't want to pull them off. I don't have time to be doing all that today. So I don't want to pull them off. If I can't operate and work with it, I don't really want to do it. I still have a basket of harvest of peppers and stuff sitting on my counter, and I just keep adding to it because every time I come out here, I see some kind of peppers that needs to be harvested, so I take it in, because if something out here would eat through an orange habanero pepper, I know they'll eat a jalapeno pepper or a bell pepper. So once those get right, I try to make sure I bring those on in. But the garden is looking good in my eyes. It's looking good. Things are growing. They're not growing at a super fast pace, but I think we're timing. I think we're on time with the way the collard greens are taking off, especially in the green stalk towers. I think they're doing really, really good. I think they're doing real good. Let me turn you around so you can see some kale. See this kale? These are the same kales that was super tiny when I put them in. They're growing. And one thing I like about the green stalk tower, you do have to rotate a shed so the sun don't get on everything one side. And I do have shade cloth just in case, but we've been having some beautiful days here. So I do like to just turn it and rotate so everything will get its share of sun. But that's it, guys. I'm not going to prolong this video. It's already at 18 minutes, and I've just, just showing a little of the background work that I do in my garden. I feel like if I'm showing the work that I'm doing in the garden, then if I'm doing something wrong or need to, somebody see it and they have another idea or suggestion, that they can, they could tell me. If you all don't never see any of the work I'm doing in the background, y'all just see the success where I'm harvesting, or the green stalk towers are looking flush, looking real lush with produce or whatever, then I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Just because something is growing right and it looks good, that doesn't mean it's not an easier way to do it to get that same result. And I'm here to work smarter, not harder. But some stuff I'll work harder on just because that's just my way. And some stuff I'll change up. Oh yeah, that was a good idea. Let me try that. Blah blah blah. But I don't change every time I hear something, because if I do, I would drive myself crazy out here if I try to follow every suggestion, everybody else's thought or whatever. If I try to change every single thing every time, because sometimes you could get a lot of suggestions, and if you try to follow each and every last one of them, you'll never have your own way of doing things. So some stuff I stick to, and some stuff I'm a stickler for, and I stick to it. But it's a lot of things I don't mind changing, because I'm like, yeah, well, that seemed better, and plus I'll get the same result, so I don't mind changing it. But I have to keep in mind that I'm a container gardener growing on a patio in my backyard, so I have to keep that in mind too, versus a lot of information I may get from somebody who has an acre of land and they're growing in ground. Our results and what we are able to do may be different. So I can probably listen to them and think about their suggestion and seeing how it may fit into what I have going on over here. Or, I may not be able to use it at all, So I definitely know fertilizing is the key when you're growing in a container gardener, because the soil is only getting what you give it. You know, all this is definitely a container. I don't have open beds that's running into the ground, except for the two raised beds over there. But um, I have weed barrier, a big layer of weed barrier under them, a thick layer of weed barrier under them, and I have cardboard boxes. I have some wood, and I have bales and bales of straw because I do not want to grow in ground. That's just something I don't want to do, because when those raised beds over there rust out, they're going to be changed out, and I definitely will get raised beds that have a bottom and that stand up. You know, like I was listening to Salty Dog talk, and he was saying how things change after 40 in gardening. Well, I'm 56, so I just keep in mind that I want to be gardening a long time, and that I'm thinking about the future of gardening in this patio on this in this backyard when I'm 70, 75. You know I'm not going to want to be bending over to no small raised bed, so I don't put those in the garden now because I don't want to have to change them out later. I'm getting things that I know I could keep in this garden for long term for as I get older. Not saying that I'm going to have a back that can't bend at 70 and 75, but I don't know, how much bend. I don't like to bend right now, and I'm 56. I feel like my back be hurting right now if I get to bending over too much. So I was really trying to do away with a lot of raised bags, with a lot of grow bags, I mean. But I still have them because they are a good tool to have in the garden. But I don't know if I will want them long term. There's some healthy 70 years old that's out here jogging, doing marathons. That's not me right now at 56. So I know it's not going to be me at 70. So I have to think about those things, when I'm doing my garden. What is it going to be like gardening in this same space at 70? What are you going to do at 60, which is just a few years off? So I think about that as I put new items into the garden. Would you want to be bending over to this at the age of 70? Would you want to be sitting down on the ground in this raised bed? I know my health, I know my body now. I know the things that the surgeries and stuff that I have had now, and I know what my limits are now, which I don't really have any limits physically. I could bend, I could squat and all that kind of stuff, but do I want to do it? No. So I try to think about things like that. To the grow tower, yeah, you have to bend over to the bottom pocket, but you also have it's upright, so that helps some. I don't have to bend over long. And so that's what I try to do: purchase things that are 3 feet or higher, so I don't have to bend over as far. I don't have to sit down on the ground just about to do seeds or whatever. I do have a stool, a garden stool. I rarely use it because I have so many green stalk towers here. And what I'm doing in the raised beds don't take long. And if I want to, with the grow bags, I keep calling them raised bags for whatever reason. But what I do with the grow bags, if it's too low, I have a workstation over there. I could put it on top of. I could put it on top of a table, do what I need to do, and bring it to the spot that I want to sit it in. That's just the kind of stuff I think about when I'm out here. And I know I'm rambling, but those are just my thoughts of me in the garden and what I be thinking about. And I'll probably cut half of this stuff that I'm saying, child, because this video don't have to be this long. But that is just the kind of stuff I think about when I'm out here in the garden, or when I'm finna make a purchase for the garden. I want to purchase the right thing. I want to purchase things that's going to be useful and helpful to me in the future. Because the stuff that I'm getting out here, I want to be able to move it around, but I don't want to have to take it out, get rid of it, and replace it with something else. So I'm trying to think long term now. Sorry, I saw a spider over there, and I just had to get the web down or whatever. Everybody's happy about a lot of people now, not everybody. Everybody's happy. A lot of people are happy about spiders in my garden. I don't be wanting it because the way they make their web is always in an inconvenient way for me, and I feel like, well, if they off somewhere. If they was over there in the banana tree corner, I wouldn't bother them. I seen some over there. I let them stay. But that day I was chasing that bird, I probably ran right into it because I forgot all about it. I was just trying to catch the quail. But if they in the bushes or somewhere, I let them stay. But when they come to my garden and they making their way up in between my two green stalk towers, they can't stay. And no, I don't just knock them down, because all they're gonna do is just build a web back up in that same spot. It's like they don't get it. Like, move on. So I just knock that web down and knock them down too. I don't like spiders, and they're a friend to the garden for some, not everybody. They be like, oh, they're a friend to the garden. They're not my friend because I don't want them over here. Do you have any friends that you want to come over to your house that you don't want there? They're not your friend. So spiders, garden snakes, they may be not gonna bite, maybe non-venomous, but I don't want them over here either. And if they can't wiggle out on their own, cats are gonna help them, and that's just what I do. I don't want them over here in the garden. When I come outside, I want to be able to walk around freely. If they see me and they slither off into the woods, I'm not going to chase them. But if they keep coming up to my patio door, which the ones that I had to take out have been doing, when they come up, the first place they come is passing all of the garden stuff, come straight up to the door. No, and if we come out here stomping, making a bunch of noise, and they don't run off, they take a curve and then keep coming back. No, I'm going to do something about that, because I have my grandchild here, and during the summer I have all the grandkids. I'm out here and I want to come out here and sit. I don't want nothing coil up somewhere then slither out on me, because I'm going to be freaking out and the whole garden may be tore up. I don't want that. I don't want that. So, and that's just my thought and opinion, and I'm sure people won't agree with it. The snakes don't bother anybody. The spiders aren't bothering anybody. They bothering me. They over here in my garden. I don't like them, so I don't let them stay. If they over there in the woods, like I said, that's fine. We have this shed. They could be on either side of the shed. They could be in the back of the shed. I'm not back there. I'm in my garden. Now, my husband be back there, so he may say something different back there. I'm just saying where they won't be in my way at. All right, child. I done a whole bunch of rambling on in this video. I'll see you guys on the next one.